Hello everyone, my name is Rocktim Baruah. Today I am going to present on the topic diversity of orchids. So we all know orchids is the most beautiful flowers in God's creation which comprise a unique group of plants, and taxonomically they represent the most highly evolved family among the monocotyledons with over 1000 genera and about 25,000 to 35,000 species, which cover around 10% of all the angiosperms. So, Orchidaceae is one of the largest families of flowering plants along with the Asteraceae family. The name orchids was given to the group on the basis of the resemblance of paired underground tubers of these plants. Uh, in Indian Vedic scriptures, there is a mention about the use of orchids for therapeutic purpose and still continue to be used in local medicines to cure a variety of fertility and virility related problems. In most orchids exhibit an incredible range of diversity in size, shape, and color of their flowers, and most species occur in the subtropical and tropical regions of Asia, South and Central America, but this diverse and adaptable family of flowering plants is found all around the globe. Orchids rank first in the global trade of tropical cut flowers, and they are the eighth in the total cut flower trade in the international market. In India, the commercial cultivation of orchids is still in rudimentary form, and they are grown on all small scale in some parts of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and in northeastern parts of Kalimpong, Darjeeling, and Arunachal Pradesh. And some orchids have medicinal value. In China, dendrobium is used as a source of tonic, astringent, analgesic, and anti-inflammatory substances. In India, it is used in preparation of some medicinal components or products such as the Chyawanprash, in which 4 numbers of orchids is used in the preparation. So why orchids are distinct from other flowers? Because they contain some distinctive features which separate them from the other flowers. First feature is the pollen grains. The pollen grains of the orchid flowers are grouped and they are called as a pollinia, and they are formed in masses, and these pollinia are located under the male anther cap and contain a sticky structure called the viscidium, which helps the pollinia to adhere to a pollinator as it feeds or seeks to mate with the column. Second part is the column. In case of flowers other than the orchids, stamens and pistils are present in the flower separately, but for orchids, stamens and pistils are joined together in a structure called the column. Third is the seed of the orchid flower. The orchid seeds are very small and present in very large quantity in a single capsule, and seeds do not have any sperms and also do not contain any organized embryo. Fourth is the leaf or labellum. It is a modified petal and can be distinguished from other petals uh, from the sepals by its large size and its often irregular shape. The other two petals of an orchid flower generally look like the sepals, while the labellum stands out as a distinctive feature. So it can vary in the form, in the shape, form, and color. And the labellum is the modified median petal that sits opposite the fertile anther and usually highly modified from other parent segments. So these are the distinctive features of an orchid flower. Next is the classification of orchids. So classification is based on different characteristics. First, classification is based on its growth habit. The life of orchids is characterized by an alternating cycle of growth periods and rest periods. The rest phase corresponds to the winter period, and many orchids flower shortly after the rest phase. If the orchids are exposed to too much moisture during this phase, they will not flower and will form only weak new shoots. And on the basis of the growth habit, there are two types of orchids, namely sympodial and monopodial. Here we can see the monopodial and sympodial uh, orchids and their characteristics. In monopodial orchids, they have a single central stem with leaves on either sides, while the sympodial orchids have multiple growth and usually grow one or more new growth per year. And the leaves grow alternate in monopodial. The leaves grow alternatively on either side of the stem, while in sympodial, the lateral upward branches grows from the base where the flowering occurs. In sympodial orchids, they have a rhizome at the base of the main stem, with a series of growths developing upward from it. And the branches from and these rhizomes are mainly called the pseudobulbs. They are organs of the flower or the plant which store moisture and nutrients. After developing a new growth, the existing pseudobulbs nearly deplete, generally goes dormant to backbulb, as a new growth will exploit the energy stored in the backbulb. So next is the classification based on habitat of the orchids. So orchids having unique way of growing in nature. Basically, they are divided into three groups on basis of their habitat. First is the epiphytic orchids, and these type of orchids grows on the host trees, supported by the trunk of the host tree, and they adhere to the host tree with a very strong roots, and in return they take moisture and nourishment from the organic debris that are collected in the crevices of the bark, and air movement is a key requirement for such orchids. Their strong roots absorb moisture and nutrients from the air. However, they are not parasites. They take advantage of aerial microclimate only. They do not. They are not dependent on the host tree for their nutrients and survival. Some examples of the epiphytic orchids are Dendrobium, Rhynchostylis retusa, Phalaenopsis, etc. Second is the uh, lithophytes. These type of orchids grows on rock with very limited food resources and strained light. They could thrive. It should be kept in open and airy condition, and it grows amongst the pebbles or rocks, generally found in the tropical region. And third is the terrestrial orchids. They grow in the grounds or soil and can adapt to damp forest floors and boggy ravines, to sand dunes and semi-arid deserts. The roots of these orchids produce tubers that may lie just below the soil surface or deep underground. They store their nutrients and moisture and provide reserve during the dry spells. Some examples may be the Phaeus tinkerveli, Arundina graminifolia, etc. So next is the propagation of the orchids. So orchids, we all know that orchid seeds lack lacks endosperm. So to provide energy for seed germination in natural condition, it requires association, and this association comes from the fungus. So the orchid's seed needs a fungal association to germinate in natural condition. So initially the fungus will invade the seed as a parasite in search of food source, but before it becomes destructive, the embryo inhibits the activity of the potentially destructive invader, the fungus, and in return